classified information.
Yes, sir.
Now, if they tell me, I don't care who you tell. And I still don't run and tell. Because once I tell, it ain't gonna stay with who I tell. It's gonna get out. Because it's like a scratch. They got to tell somebody. So we had it, then that's why I said situational. Now, if it's a counseling session and they wait. Ready? I got this 45. And she said, like we were talking about earlier, because maybe they sold that. I got this 45, Marie, and I just need to come and tell somebody because I got bad thoughts. So when I go home, I'm going to blow his brains out. Now that's different. I can't be like, oh, okay, good. Girl, please. And go home. And tell nobody. All right. Hey, Chief. Well, here I'm going to be to whatever district you in. But I'm telling you now, your woman just left about. I don't know what you did. I'll find out later on. But I advise you when she pull up, you do not be there. And they'll meet, hopefully they get to the house before she does. You can flip a coin on that the way they respond today. But I'm telling you, whatever you gotta do, if you ain't got but one change or one shoe, run like a movie. Get out. Get out. And I'm making the necessary calls. Because that's not something I can keep. That's why I come back to here. That's not something meant to be kept. You go home. Well, what happened, baby? Nothing. Did you sit and ask me you sitting? Then no. Huh? Even if I'm telling everything that did happen, that's still out of bounds.
Yes, sir. Neither shall thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So if you can't even always tell the thing that's right that went on in something, you definitely don't tell things that you don't know is true or not. Because you can cause somebody to get hurt.
Yes.
Doing that.
Yes.
Telling stuff and don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They talk to.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
Yes, we're seeing upon them because we're holy people.
Hallelujah.
We should be able to talk to each other with sense when something is going wrong. Hating each other ain't gonna get us nowhere.
Nope.
Why I have to live in hate with you? I'd rather separate. That means I can shed this hate. Let me just get away. Let you get away. Let's do your thing. Free you up. Free me up. Now everybody ain't gotta hate nobody.
Hallelujah.
Just didn't work out. And we don't have to vent. I'm gonna get in with that. No, when you go be happy. Do your thing. You should keep 90. I know you, but I'm gonna give him my number and he can call me if I don't get to it. How about that?
Hallelujah. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
So that the purity of things don't get lost.
Hallelujah.
So that it can always keep its integrity. Because a lot of times when you mingle something, you're going to break the integrity, compromise the integrity. So that the integrity, the purity can be preserved. You do not gender all these things. You keep mixing fruits and you won't, sooner or later, you won't have the original fruit.
I am carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her. She shall be scourged.
And that's a bad translation.
They shall not be put to death because she was not free.
And that's a bad translation because the punishment is on both of them. It's not just that she should be scourged, it's bad. That's a bad translation. The punishment is on both of them. And that's why I come back and say, they together. Then you know the punishment is on both of them. They shall not be put to death because she was not free.
As offering unto Yahweh, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahweh for his sin which he hath done.
Because he's in the wrong. He's in the wrong. She's not the only one that would have been facing the death. He also was in the wrong.
And the priest, and sin which he hath done shall be forgiven him. And when ye shall come into the land.
Because, and let me stop you there, because what it says out of the scripture, out of the Hebrew, and whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, designated for a man, and not at all redeemed, nor was freedom given her, there shall be inquisition. There shall be inquisition. Find out. They shall not be put to death, however, because she was not free. Maybe she gave in to being a bondwoman. Otherwise, she wouldn't have. But it's not worthy of death. Because this is her being engaged. She's somebody promised to be some adultery. But that's why there must be inquisition. So that's how it's written, coming out of the Torah. Just want to explain that. Verse 23. When you shall come into the land and have planted all manner of trees for food, then you should count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be uncircumcised unto you, and it shall not be eaten. So the first 3 years that the tree produces fruit, when it starts producing fruit, you don't eat that fruit. But in the 4th year, all the fruit there is to the Most High. That's first fruits. And that's his. And in the 5th year, ye shall eat the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am Yahweh your Elohim. Now, watch this. Next year, when they put out fruit trees, if you're here, I want you to go and say something that's remarkable. Gonna say the fruit should be eaten when it's 5 years old. Verse 26, you shall eat. That's unholy. Even he didn't know that. That's why Dracula is unholy. People's blood. So they unholy. They bad people. Because you should eat no manner of blood. Neither shall you use enchantment. Stay away from the witches, because that's a big thing on the rise. Stay away from witches. I've told y'all over and over, the churches are diminishing. Witchcraft is increasing. Brothers, sisters, Be circumspect when you're dealing with these folks. Younger generation, not picking on you. Be very circumspect when you get these young ladies. Because they into some stuff. Playing in your locks and then you clip them. Go in the back room, got all kinds of stuff going on. Huh? My grandpa only ate from one woman. He only ate from one woman. And that was my mother. And he had many daughters. Only woman that could cook him food was my mother. Because my grandfather was a staunch believer in that hoodoo, as he called it. You know, they never hoodoo me. He wouldn't eat at a fast food place. When they took him back down south, he didn't eat a whole ride down there. He didn't eat till he got back home. When his kids, people said they had to call my mother. Said, "Oh, Mr. Did you talk to him?" She said, "What is going on?" She said, "Mr. Marijuana, we having a hard time getting him to eat." And she had to assure him, "Daddy, it's all right to eat." They all kinds of some of the stuff they came up with. Boy, you be sitting there, you like, how can anybody? They grab your drawers and bury them in the backyard and all these little kind of. You're like, what is that? You gonna come back? You like, what the?
You ain't gonna leave.
I've seen people do this, and I'm telling you, witchcraft, especially in the demographics of 20 to 30 years old, is on the rise. Male and female, because they've broken away from the traditional church. And observer of time, all that tarot card reading and all that kind of stuff, they into that big time.
I'm gonna read your palm.
Yeah, big reading palm. You sitting there, she got the palm like this, and she doing like this. You just sitting there watching the football game. She trailing all up your. You might throw it in your hand. Entrail. Huh? Yeah, burn sage, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Burn sage. I said, I can burn sage too. Went right in my cupboard, put something in the skillet, turned the heat on, burnt the sage. I ain't need all that. But they do, they'll come to your house, they're out there. Go all through the house with a bundle of sage and wave it, call it ritual. Come on, we got a few more. I've got to try to get in because the sun is starting to go down. 27.
Hallelujah. Ye should not round the corners.
Around the corners of your head, like the people that used to worship. We read it earlier. All the people in all the societies that worship the moon. And in worshiping the moon, y'all can't really, I need a good young man that's got his lines edged up. It is when you go to the barber shop, you can cut paper with the edges. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and some of the other brothers, we can't say that no more.
Right.
They're running back this way and coming down this way.
With a little bit in there.
Yeah, a little bit. But the geometrically is there. Well, a lot of people in the moon cults, what they would do is they would take this edge where you get shaped up, they would round that off. So they would cut nothing but the top, because they want to know when they cut it and it was nothing but a bowl cut, you look at their head, it's just a round cylinder. It's like the crescent. They were mimicking the crescent of the moon. And this is what was going on in the land of Canaan when they were worshiping the moon god that you read about in them books and do your research on. And Almighty told Israel, that's not what you do, because that's not how I made you. I made these lines like this because that's the natural shape of your head. It goes with your head. Everybody's different, but it's still a natural line and shape, and it's perfectly geometrically perfect. And you leave that intact. Believe you me, if you got problems with aging, right, it's gonna take care of itself. You're gonna lose it. But don't take it away and destroy it yourself. I ain't worried for what I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
When I dealt with extremities. It's your That's why it says that the precious ointment that ran down Aaron's beard, it wasn't all of them. It was his beard came down, and once it started coming down, he never took that and completely destroyed that, marred that. So it grew down, and he never took that away. But he groomed it. You could always, because you were supposed to groom. Yes, you can groom your beard, you can trim your beard. But you just, as we become men of Yah, we never destroy it and grow it long. That's the extremity. That's the corner you never mar that. Because you can have this and not have this. Because a lot of times some men have problems growing it where all this connect. Find out that beards are con. Mean beard in the sense of we preference the liking towards a lion. Because we look at the lion the same way we look at a man. When he's just a baby, a little cub, he don't have nothing.
Right.
As he starts to hit adulthood, he get that little mane. Start right here, maybe. Then it works his way around. But when he becomes full-bred, big dog, big man, lion hood, he got what? Boom. And it's coming all the way what? All the way down. You don't see no lioness plucking at it, pull it out. He just let it flow. And it's a sign of his maturity.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's a sign of. That's why David said he grabbed the lion. Notice what he called it. He said, I grabbed the lion by his beard. Did you know that? Go to Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me know when we get to 6:30 and about 5 minutes.
Hallelujah.
Elon,
6:25.
HTZ, high car time zone. That's my brother.
Hallelujah.
Look what it says, 17, 1 Samuel 17,
Hallelujah.
verse 34,
1 Samuel chapter 17, verse
33. I want you to see this day.
Hallelujah. And Saul said to David,
Saul said to David,
thou art not able to go against the Philistines to fight with him.
that's a full-fledged man. You can't thump with him. He know war from his childhood. Hey, look at him. You see all these boys back here, they scared. My whole army scared. Son, you can't go like that, man. You'll never win that battle.
And
You are
then,
but a youth. And this a man of war from his youth. And David said to Saul,
thy servant kept his father's sheep,
you know, I kept my father's sheep.
and there came a lion and a bear.
And I kept them by myself. And there came a lion on one occasion, and there came a bear on another occasion.
Him.
And you know what I did? I didn't say, well, Daddy got 99 more. He won't miss that one. Now, must have been a hard person.
Whoa.
Jesse must have been a hard person. Because the only thing I know that can motivate you to go chase
A
a lion and a bear
Whoa.
is that bear. So Jesse must have been a bad man
Hallelujah.
to live under. Because David said, oh no, he did not take my dad down. Because that ain't gonna set right with him. He took him, and guess what I did? What?
I went after him and I smote him.
After him. And I smote him.
And I delivered it out. I caught him by his beard.
When he arose and he rose up against me, when we was in battle, I caught him by his what?
By his beard.
By his beard, his lion mane. But David called it his what? He controlled his head. If I'm qualified to go fight this bum, I'm gonna certainly am. He dead by nightfall. If I could fight a lion and a bear, I'm
This
good.
man ain't
I'm
nothing.
with us. And I tell brothers, hey, like I said, I train, but you better know what you're getting into. Inquire. But some cats live hard on Out here talking about, I'm like, ex-middleweight champ, gold gloves. And they peeling you off of the concrete. In 2 seconds, remember nothing after that.
I see lights.
I looked at a story on Mike Tyson. That was part of him. He was, until he got softened, he was hardened by the streets. They sleep on something. But look at the life of Sonny. Said Sonny, listen, with him, people, he was Tyson before Tyson. Guys crying. Come fight night. He hit. He said, I had aches and pains and places. Chuck Wepner's nose is all over here. Or was. You know who gave him that nose job? Sonny, listen. Put his nose right over here. Look like he been through a meat grind. Bah, just hit. He said every time he hit, it just hurt. He said, why you ain't quit? He said, pain was so induced, I couldn't quit. But everybody knows Sonny listened for Muhammad Ali veins. But David said, I grabbed him by what?
By his beard.
By his beard. By the beard, part of his beard that what?
Sure.
Because can you trim your beard? Let's see. Let's go to 2 Samuel. Yes, we can groom ourselves. Let's go to 2 Samuel. Growing that beard today, because it used to be a time when black men were trying to be like
the white boy.
White man
Yes,
and wear a beard. Now some of our brothers still do it because they don't want to show how old they are. Because a beard does signify your little age. So that's why they clean shave themselves so they can look like they're young. And that's my brothers in the nation. That's why they cut the whole beard off. So they can look young. And they say their head close or bald. So they can look young. Because your hair, it says something about it. A young girl told me years ago, she said, nobody would know you that old. It wasn't for your beard. Because the gray that was in it. Almost made me go out and get just for me.
Don't do it.
Until you wash it out, like that's great. Yeah.
You use too much. Turn your white.
Yeah, anyway. With the bed with my man that woke up with grandpa. No, it's a blessed thing to be able to get older. Let's go to 2 Samuel 19. We can wrap this up. I just want to show you. No, we don't cut it once we get it. That's what I told my boys. Because it was a wake-up call to me. The oldest one over there. I can remember that when I brought him home, I still have to hark back to that. He wasn't nothing but a head, and he got thick hair on the head, coming under here, and coming around here. I told him, you can't cut it off, Chief. You can't cut it off. You gotta let it grow. You got it now. But it's signifying, that's why we call it Zakam. Signifying he coming into his manhood.
Yes, sir.
Not that he is a man, but that he's coming into his manhood.
Hallelujah.
Now, how he designs it or fashions it or lets it grow, that's on him. But he cannot.
Hallelujah.
But maintain it. He can trim it. He can keep it nice. Don't look like Wolfman Jack. 2 Samuel.
For thy servant do know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first. I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph to go down to meet my master the king. Shall not Shemaiah be put to death? For this, because he cursed Yahweh's anointed. And David said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should put to death this day Israel? For do not I know that I am this day king over Israel?
Look, I don't have to start killing people and putting people to death. I'm confident now. I'm put in my position. I know I'm king, so I ain't got to be killing a whole bunch of folks to prove no point. I'm king in Israel. I know it. Everybody.
And the king swore unto him.
And he swore unto him. He gave me a word. Now look at verse 24.
And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king.
Yes, his grandson, to be exact, came down to meet King David.
And had neither dressed his feet.
Now when he came down, he had neither what?
Dressed his feet.
Dressed his feet, took care of them feet.
Nor.
I got you. We getting wrap it up.
Hallelujah.
That's help, brothers and sisters. Maintain them feet.
Yes. Better.
Maintain them feet, brothers.
Better.
So I don't really tell sisters, they take care of their feet. Cute little feet. Brother, we come out looking like they've been through a war zone. little things, hot, little scuffles here, just callous. Nah, take care of your feet. That's a part of health. Some herbal practices, you rub the herb on the feet because it sinks into the feet and it can travel up the bloodstream and get into the body. With babies, it was a little thing when they have certain illnesses, the elders rub stuff on their feet. You like his illness, I think, is in his head. They got shut up. And they be rubbing the bottom of his feet. Healthy. He like, what the man?
No.
You a man with some bad hardships, rugged mountain feet. Brother Aaron gets one of them exfoliators, you know what they're called? One of them scrubby things, and he gets it going sometimes. He get at them pristine.
Hallelujah.
And ain't nothing wrong with my yacht lawn. I'm a married man. But that's feet, that's health.
Yes, sir.
Huh? He had neither dressed his feet, so they were looking rough.
Nor trimmed his beard.
Oh, he had neither what?
Nor trimmed his beard.
He trimmed his beard.
Nor washed his clothes.
He had,
He departed until the day he came again in peace.
so what did he do? He had not done it from the time he back.
And it came
He cleaned himself up. That's
yeah.
good.
Hallelujah.
Because he was back. So he trimmed it up. Huh? He washed his clothes. He wasn't going to walk around finished stinking. He did this for a certain time. And then he reversed it and did what he should be doing. Just like Daniel. Daniel didn't eat. Don't duck dynasties is off. Only people that does that, that's a sign that you the book of Daniel. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Y'all know when I had my beard. Huh? Bless y'all heart. Y'all heard Brother Aaron say, oh, you look good, you look cute. And y'all know I look like a rough. Y'all know I look like the Unabomber coming up in here teaching. Y'all know I look like cute. Well, it's cute, yeah. Chipmunk can be cute. Alvin, young, they all be now you say I because if you did, my mama did. She said every time I went, when you gonna cut that? And if she didn't say that, she looked at me all for secret. There's something wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. Yeah.
No, the other one, please.
Because sometimes when a person, you and Daniel, 4th chapter, 33rd verse. It says, the same hour was this thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. And he was driven from men. And he did eat grass as oxen. And his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs, and it don't say what it just says hair feathers. Yeah, just covering him up. Because the eagle's feathers is thick. It covers his frame up. So he just let himself, and that's where he's at. He's driven away from the kingdom of men. Now he's like a wild beast. And being in that state, he's like the eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird's claws. He is totally let himself go to pieces. Where he used to well groomed. Once he is driven out and amongst beasts, now he look like you don't even recognize. Well, that's a sign that something was what? Wrong. You have it. Keep it up. Trim it. You can trim it. You can manage, you can do work on it. Don't look like, no, don't look like you the would-be. Don't do that. Even, like I said, priest had to be, even though it was long, it was fashionably trimmed. He's a priest. He has to be. All them beautiful garments on him, but he lacked hygiene. No. Now, there's occasion where the beard is taken all off, and we won't read it. I'll give you the chapters, and that's when we dealt with leprosy. You can find that in Leviticus. They were doing the cleansing. They shaved off. At one point, the law says to shave off all hair. Hair off your head, hair off the beard, even the eyebrows. Everything got shaved. Oh, brother Ron, that ain't in there. Well, I will turn and let us see that, and this will be it. And this was to ascertain the cleanness, and if they were and could be pronounced as clean. Leviticus 14 and 1. Moses spake, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, he should be brought unto the priest, pre-healed in the leper. Then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water, not stagnated water. The stagnated water is easily contaminated. That's why you see the scriptures always talk about running water. And dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from his leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird. Verse 8. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, right? Yep. Save off what? Some.
All
Save off what?
all
Save off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And the word save is galak. Galak. In the causative sense, to shave. In the figurative sense,
to lay waste, to be bald, to pull, to shave. He should shave off all his hair, wash himself in water, and he shall be clean. After that, he shall come into the camp, and he shall dwell outside of his tent for 7 more days. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrow, even all his hair shall he shave off. So on the 7th day, all before that day, he shall shave off all his hair, of his head, and his what? Beard, and he shall wash his clothes. Also, he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day, he shall take 2 fine flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log made clean, and those things, his offerings, before Yahweh, at the door of the meeting tent of the congregation. Hallelujah. And to be cleansed, then everything in normal circumstances, we don't seek just to desecrate our hair and desecrate our looks and do things that intercede with the natural progression. Like I said, trimming, grooming, yes, but just to take it away, like they did when they shaved half of the beard off of the men. That was a desecration. And they cut off half of their clothes that exposed their buttocks, which is the wisdom of that shows that young men and old men, that sagging is not a fashion statement for an Israelite. Because when these men had their garments cut, so if you Israel,
With no man.
not if you Israel, it definitely ain't fashion. It's not fashion.
I love to make them screens.
Any comments? We're done. Any comments? Look at my man. See, that's fashion. He got it sharp as a tack, boy. He came out like the road run on the Autobahn. Sharp as a tack. Yes, comment.
About the different deity things, the God things or whatever. And or no, I forgot what we were talking about. We were talking about something earlier. And I was reading earlier. I was reading, I think it was yesterday, and they were saying that the people that made oxycodone, I don't know if you heard about it, they charged them with $1 billion, over $1 billion. So what they get put it out is they're going out of business because of all the overdoses and all of that. So they're blaming them for that. But somebody else is gonna pick it up now. They gonna make it safer for the drugs. Yeah, I said, so what is that gonna do? You know, it's a scam for one that can get the drugs.
No.
You know, so I was saying, and then I don't know if y'all heard about this, but I think it was yesterday too. I was reading this. The scientists, so-called scientists, they were, I forget what they were doing. They were doing something with the human body, and that sits by the thyroid in the neck. And so I just thought it was. I said, wow, look at
Yes, ma'am.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
That was
ma'am.
awesome.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's what science is about. It's the study of something.
Yeah.
So they don't be forever finding things.
I think that I want to say it's 4 of them, like the thyroid. 20, surely we should
Yes, ma'am.
find the things with.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Any other comments from anybody?
Great class, Moray, off the internet.
They, of course, can get in touch with me. I know both of them. They feel like they, like I said, inquire and get in touch with them. But I hope that that's satisfactory answer. Make closing comments. And thanking everybody for your undivided attention, participation, receptibility. I pray that the word of the Most High was dispensed, that you receive and gain the little knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And we're better exiting than we were entering. Thank everybody, and of course, as always, lay that at feet for myself. But if there are no other comments, let us stand. I'm training now. You start. Oh, you're great. Brother, I'm gonna rap to you after we get done. Inspiration. Motivation. Yes, sir.
Shema, Israel, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Akam, Israel, Yahweh is one.
Yivareka. Yahweh Yismereka Yahweh. Paneleka Watunika. Yes, Yahweh Paneleka.
Come upon thee, good wishes of to be. Now lift up this comment and give us peace. Hallelujah.
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 Praise by Yahweh. Yah is righteous all the time, both day and